to Impossible Live. Welcome back if you're joining us again. And I'd love to invite you to let us know one way we can help you in between our impossible lives. Hopefully, you're having an amazing day and celebrating something wonderful, whether it's birthdays or family milestones or just something amazing. And today's title is Lena Horne's song from The Wiz. Hard to believe, almost 5 decades since this vintage song popped up. And I'm delighted that it's today's title. We're in a world that I'm always calling fragile, where you may not always feel the right amount of encouragement, the right amount of support, the right amount of care that encourages you to make steps or lean into full color dreams or just feel like you're rocking and living your best life. We don't always feel that. Really grateful for incredible support to inspire me to keep showing up. And I'm loving the opportunity to share it with you and encourage you to do the same. We don't always have the self confidence. We don't always, from a mental fitness perspective, lean into the narratives or the stories. We let others get into our head. We let things slow up our pace, our vibe. And I'd love to just encourage you and invite you to really lean into what you're feeling on a heart and a soul level and to really just take the steps that you've been dreaming of, whether they're lateral steps, they're side steps, they're dance steps. And I know we've been talking a lot about keep on moving because sometimes we can feel stuck. We can feel like we don't have the traction, we don't have the momentum, we don't have the energy to kind of take the step. And from that perspective, I'd really love to invite you to share what's inspiring you. Is it music? Is it dance? Is it a thought leader? Is it a book? Is it a family member? Something you just stumbled on. I just had the privilege of attending a webinar with Madison Butler and Elizabeth Leba and really enjoyed them as they introduced us, I think, to Mindy Hart. And so I now have another author that I can follow. And I'm really reminded because in the beginning of Impossible Live, I didn't really believe in myself to turn this camera on. So for those of you who are debating lives or writing a book or writing a blog or a newsletter, hey, Adrian, thank you so much for joining us and for just popping in with your incredible energy. You are so appreciated. I think what happens sometimes is we keep pausing. We let things stop us mid-step. I'm delighted a fantastic team member of mine, Ann Schwab, you're amazing. I asked Ann to remind me about something that was on the priority list, and I keep moving the date back. And I realized I'm moving the date back because there's other stuff that's really lighting me up that I need to do first. And part of it is what's the order? What in the world is the priority? And that we don't give ourselves permission to do all the time. We're looking at a to do list. What do I have to tackle for today? What do I have to get done? What am I accountable to others for? And it's really important. But in the mix, sometimes we get crushed a little bit. We get squashed a little bit. It's been one of those high wind weekends. I'm very grateful that it's dropped a little bit today. But I love one of the things that Lena Horne sings about is about the magic that's right in our hearts. And sometimes we don't trust it as magic. We don't feel the magic. It doesn't always feel like it's lighting us up. And For that, maybe we need more support so we discover it's magical. We need more light. You'll notice today I'm wearing yellow again, my pop's favorite color. It really helps light me up on a very gray day. It is pretty white skies out there. And if you're feeling the same, sometimes it's a vibe that changes our beat. Sometimes it's a rhythm. Sometimes it's words or a message from a family member who's not really feeling warm and fuzzy and encouraging, or a coworker who's just having a bad day. Or if you're in hospitality, it's that client who just pops in sometimes with a complaint, needs a little bit of extra attention, mm, extra something. And you're not always sure that our tanks or our fuel reserves are full. So I'd love to encourage you today to think of celebrating your wins, celebrating your steps, thanking someone with gratitude who's helped you take a new one. And on the days when we don't remember to believe in ourselves, remember that there are others who really believe in us. I mentioned before the priorities, and I know we talk sometimes about goals and alignment and integration. I never used to always share those priorities. They were on my to do list, they were in my journal, they were on my calendar. I'm grateful now for a small and mighty team that holds space for me, and family members that really encourage me to do that. But I'd love in the process today, without taking a lot of your time and without taking a lot of your energy, to encourage you to do that for yourself, because we don't always think of that. We don't always think of the self care part, and we don't always make space to emerge that doubt, that fear, those changes in the narratives, the little dings that we may feel like in an old fashioned copper pot, sometimes where we need to blow off some steam. And happy Monday, Lisa. Thank you so much for popping in. I want to thank you and Adrian very much for being here, and to thank everybody else who's joining us on Team Replay. You'll find been inviting you a lot to a lot of places recently. And some of them are trust masterclasses, others are to event alchemy experiences, and others are just to come hang out with us on YouTube. But I wanted to thank you for inviting people in to join us, to celebrate with smiles across the miles. Thanks for helping to spread seeds. Thanks for helping to lift up. And Aries, great to see you too. Just want to encourage you, as some amazing, amazing people are popping into our chat, that they're amazing people also to reach out to. Aries has authenticity events that are on Wednesday. Lisa has amazing nutrition and menopause events that she's been hosting that are a lot of times on Tuesdays. Lisa also is an amazing author. And when we don't always believe in ourselves, start believing in some of the stories that you're sharing. Start sharing them with more confidence, with more smiles. And I know we're in a world sometimes that's encouraging us to be a little bit more quiet, to show a bit more discernment about how we show up, where we show up, why we show up, when we show up. I'm on a domestic violence board, an intimate partner violence board, a human trafficking board. Honored to be on the board of Fearless Hudson Valley. In a couple of weeks, so we'll celebrate our 39th anniversary at a celebration of hope brunch. And One of my mentors will receive an award that night. And I'll say that night because for some it'll be night, but across coast it'll be morning. And she's one of those unsung heroes. And one of the things that I love is that in the process of trying to figure out other ways to honor her, and I'm honored. She chairs our board. She's an amazing friend and shows up with light at times. Just we need people to help us turn on those bright lights, to turn on the beliefs, because it's easy sometimes to not believe, to want to sit back, to want to lay back. But there's so many people who need your light, your magic, your wisdom, your hands, your smiles across the miles, as I call them. And I want to encourage you to just keep sharing from that beautiful soul language, heart centered space. We all have doubts. We all want to pause. Many of us are introverts. We're not sure we have the energy, the time, the resources, and we want to just chill. But I'm encouraging you in stillness, create some space to treasure your amazing magic, to treasure the light you bring, to treasure yourself with joy. And if today's not a day when you believe in yourself, reach out to somebody. Hi, Oli. How are you? Oli, thank you so much for warm hugs and love. And Oli, thank you also for popping in. As Adrian said, thank you so much for popping in to my Trust Master classes in Audio Leadership Club. I really, really appreciate you and your energies and just how you're showing up to support others. Know that belief in ourselves should be foundational, not something that we let others take away. Thank you. Lowe's, how are you? Hey, from the Netherlands, and thanks for traveling the farthest today. In this process of sharing Lena Horne's song, which took me way back when to a version of The Wiz, back in the days when Quincy Jones just really got into this version that she shared, and he was one of my heroes, and may he continue to rest in power. But in the process of just showing up for each other and just belief, know that there's something amazing that you're doing to help light a spark for others. Thank you for continuing to share that light and to share that belief when some of us aren't necessarily feeling it. So today, I'm going to leave you a little bit earlier than I normally do, with respect for your time, your energies, and your schedules, so you can reach out to somebody who reminds you how wonderful you are, somebody to share gratitude, someone to share space, someone to share with grace. You'll notice next week we'll have a pre-recorded version with amazing Ben Baker, communicating for growth, and shortly the amazing Tiffany Velvet English, who's going to join us in a couple of weeks to talk about the power of community. We're going to go live. She's sharing a live on her YouTube channel about client gifting. If there's something you're looking for today to help you locate a piece towards beliefs, towards reinforcing your values, towards reinforcing some amazing energy in your faith walk, please don't hesitate to reach out. I welcome the opportunity to connect with you in between our possible lives, in between some of our other events and the celebrations. And as we're welcoming spring in many areas, and our friends from down under are, you know, their weather's changing too, and in other climates, let's Ah, Lois. Oh, man. Thank you. Yes. Being the light for others, reaching out to others all around the world, and building long term relationships. There's somebody somewhere who needs to hear your voice. They need to hear what you believe. They need your invitation to help them believe, to help them see, to help them reach, to help them teach, to help them dream, to help them love, to help them celebrate. And Lois, I want to thank you because Be the Light, there's a Be the Light video for Fearless Hudson Valley that I mentioned a passion for raising funds for. And you're reminding me, keep on being the light, whether we see it internally or externally, so that others feel it and are inspired, so that it helps them build long term relationships, so that it helps them locate the partner, the career, the job, the collaborator of their dreams, that funder, that person to publish their book, that person to invite them to share a stage, to lead a panel, to welcome them for their first keynote. Let's keep believing. Let's keep sharing that. And I truly want to thank you for joining us today. Not just today, but for our third anniversary celebration. As promised last week, our second anniversary celebration is finally on our YouTube channel. I want to thank Carla Sellers for helping to release that magic last week. And the reminder, whatever you're celebrating, whatever you're honoring, whatever you're holding space for, ah, just keep believing in your beautiful self, in your handsome self, in your wondrous self, in your vibrant self, in your loving self. Thank you for you and for the gifts you are bringing into our fragile world. Thank you for the inspiration. Thank you for the warmth. Thank you for the smiles across the miles. And thank you for sharing spaces and inviting others in to share wonderful spaces with us. Stay safe, stay well, stay inspired, and stay in touch. Take great care. And looking forward to sharing smiles across the miles with you next week as Ben joins us, communicating for growth, communicating with confidence, communicating to light the right kind of fires that don't need fire extinguishers. Have a magnificent day and take great care until we see again, until we connect again. Stay well, stay safe.